Shalom, Inshallah, Shalom, Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh, by Hashem Mashiach, Omalaki Yahushua. Wherever Kakadash Atasa, Uncle Book of Bible is Quine Wa, come Inshallah, Habatamagam, Wa. Amen. We back at it with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. This is our Iraq series. Brothers and sisters know what's going on. Let's get straight into it. Right, we in chapter 3. So let's start off in chapter 3, verse 1. Right, Sirach 3:1. It says, "Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe." All right. So you listening to the Most High, you going through the precepts, you doing what you're supposed to be doing in this truth. You're safe. You're also safe. You understand that? Because let's get a couple precepts. Right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Watch this. Watch this. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse number 20. First Corinthians 10 and 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful. We're going to keep reading about God is faithful. All right, the first two videos we've been reading and studying about God is faithful. God is merciful. Right? No temptation has taken you. Right? God is faithful. Read on. It says, "Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it." So, hey, you might be going through all types of hell, all types of issues, whatever it may be, okay? Now, at the end of the day, man, you're still going to be okay, man. Like, if you're really fearing the Most High, listening to what's going on, and not being rebellious, you'll be safe. You might be going through trials and tribulations, but at the end of the day, you're still okay. I just understand you're still going to be safe if you're sincerely listening to the Most High. Now, really, this is a kind of a continuation on what we talked about, you know, last video with chapter 2, right? But I want to get one more precept. Right? If you're listening to the Most High, you will be safe. This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse number 21. "The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it." So this is the curses. A curse that's on our people as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Pestilences will cleave unto our people if we're not keeping the commandments. You understand that? Now, the exact opposite of not keeping the commandments is Sirach 3:1. "Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe." You understand that? Because that's what's really going to have you safe. Your gun, all these carnal things, your hands, whatever you might got going on, that's not going to actually keep you safe. You understand that? At the end of the day, the Most High keeps us safe, no matter what the situation is. Okay? Verse 2. "For the Lord hath given the father honor over the children, and hath confirmed the authority of the mother over sons." Which is talking about wisdom, right? Let's read on though. It's going to prove it. It says, "Whoso honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins." What does that mean? You're honoring your father is making atonement for your sins. What does that mean? Meaning, let's go to it in Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20. Right. So lucky, it came in my mind and I dropped it. Right. Well, but at the end of the day, children gotta obey their parents, and that's a part of keeping the commandments. Right. The Lord told us, hey, what you keeping the commandments, that's an atonement for your sins. Right. You keeping the commandments, the faith, that's what's gonna get you into the kingdom of heaven. You understand that? That's how it's gonna atone for your sin. So on a basic level, by you keeping the commandments, that's how it's gonna make you safe. And what it say, it's gonna atone for your sins. Atone for your sins meaning, like, you might commit a sin, but because you've been on fire with receiving counsel, listening to your parents, and all that kind of stuff, guess what? The Most High kind of look out for it. It's an atonement for your sin, right? It kind of makes you clean. It makes it not counted for, type of thing. That's what that means. You follow? Let's read on. And at the end of the day, that's wise, right? It's wise to listen to your parents. It's wise to listen to your dad. Now, I wanna read on, because it's gonna go into that some more. Verse number 4. And he that honoreth his mother is as one that layeth up treasure. Whoso honoreth his father shall have joy of his own children, and when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. Right? Meaning, like, this is kind of double fold, because our Father ultimately is the Most High God. You understand that? He's the Father which is in heaven. Let's prove that. Our Father ultimately is the Most High God. Let's prove that. Let's go to Matthew chapter 6 and verse number 9. This is Yahushua speaking. And therefore, after this manner, therefore pray ye, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, which is Yahweh. Right? So our Father is Yahweh, which is in heaven, right? And then it says, let's go back to Sirach real fast. It says, whoso honoreth his father shall have the joy of his own children, and when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. He that where's the mother part? Verse 4, he that honoreth his mother is as one that layeth up treasure. Right? Who is your mother according to the scriptures? Let's get that. And Proverbs. Chapters 8. Right? Proverbs chapter 8 and verse number 1. It says, doeth not wisdom cry, and understanding pour forth her voice? She standeth in the top of high places, by the way in the palaces of the paths. She crieth at the gates and the entry of the city, at the coming in of the doors. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is on the sons of man. O ye simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be ye as the understanding heart. Herefore I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be as the right things. Right? Because at the end of the day, as a mother, you guide your children. It's the same thing with wisdom. Right? Our Father is the Most High in heaven, but wisdom is our mother, and she guides her children in is wisdom. But she guides her children in wisdom, even though she is wisdom. It's all parabolic. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how it's going in. That's how it's parabolically written, right, in this old English. You understand that? Let's get another precept at Wisdom of Solomon. But your mother on a also full level, on a parabolic level, on an allegoric level, is talking about wisdom as well. Let's get another precept. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, and verse number 1. I myself also am a mortal man, meaning like you have a mortal body, you're not immortal, right? It says, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man, and the pleasure that came with sleep. Let me jump down to verse number 14. Verse number 13. Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 13. I learned diligently and do communicate her liberally. I do not hide her riches, for she is a treasure unto men that never faileth, which they that use become the friends of God. Right? Because Abraham became a friend of God through faith, but you have to have that wisdom to apply your faith correctly. You understand that? Because, you know, you have these Indians. They have faith in their God, their power, you know, whatever they call it, and they go and commit suicide. Let's read on. For she is a treasure unto men that faileth, right? It says, which they that use become friends of God, being commended for the gifts that come from learning. You understand that? So also on a different level, you understand that wisdom is also your mother. So listening to the Most High and applying your wisdom, that's also going to allow your days to decrease. But on a basic level, your actual biological mom and your father, it's in the commandments of God that you have to obey them. You have to reverence them. You understand? You have to listen to them, right? Show them honor, because they're your damn parents. They begat you, right? They teach you. They raise you up in the right way. And when you have a nation of people, you have kids that submitting to their elders. You have sons and daughters that submits into their fathers and mothers, which are in the same household in order. You understand that? That's also a part of how you building up a nation. You follow? Now the so-called, it's a stereotype when the so-called white boy or girl, they known for telling their mom to shut up and F you, all of these other things, man. These is contrary to the scriptures. Right, as a man or a woman of honor, you are to listen to your parents and respect them, which was the most utmost respect. You understand that? Like me personally, I don't even call my dad by his first name. Now we might be joking around, and I'm like, hey, you know what I'm saying, bit by bit, joke around. But I don't. Hey, I walk in the house, hey, you know, where the money at? Like I don't, you know, It's respect. It's a different vibe when it comes to your parents, right? It should be common sense, but you know, some people may not get it, right? Let's read on. It says, "He that honoreth his father," right? We read that. Verse 7. "He that feareth the Lord will honor his father, and will do service unto his parents and to his masters." Because remember, imagine that, especially growing up in this captivity, your parents, you know, depending on your situation, your parents have put in so much labor, have put in so much work, have put in so much effort just to build you up. It's only right that you get to where you need to be so you can help them out. Because your parents get old. You got some people, their parents get old and they just damn, they don't even care, right? They send them to the shelter. They're letting some random person getting paid a minimum wage wipe their behind. You follow? Like, that's not how it goes according to the scriptures, man. You was raised and your parents made so many sacrifices to make sure you have a good life. It's the same thing that goes when they get old and you have to then take care of them. You follow? That's order. That's common sense, and that's why the scriptures teach that, right? It says, Salakia. It says, "And will do service to his parents, to his masters." Right. It says, "And will do service unto his parents as to his masters." So as faithful as you clock in every day 9 to 5 is as faithful as you should be calling your parents, checking in on your parents, right? Making sure they okay, right? Because especially for you brothers and sisters that's in this truth, if you got parents that's in the world, you should be dropping down like, "Hey man, you make sure you in the gym. Hey ma, you know, make sure you know you taking care of yourself. You're getting your yoga, not yoga. That's off as hell. You making sure you're getting your exercising in, or you making sure you eating right. Make sure you feed my dad right. You understand that? You want to be tapping in to make sure they doing these things because the Most High gave you that wisdom. On a carnal level, us as servants don't know any damn thing, but to a certain extent, depending on how studied you are in this truth, you know more on certain topics than your parents do. And that little bit of wisdom that the Most High gave you, you understand that, which is beautiful at the end of the day. That little bit of wisdom that the Most High gave you, it can be used to boost your parents up, right? And then the wisdom that they got, they might have all this wisdom of the world, right? It's time to file your taxes. You calling your dad? I'm calling my mother, right? It's time to go. What? I got to go to court. Guess what? I'm gonna call my dad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Should I put on my suit and tie? Nah, you don't need that. You know, the wisdom. This is how it's a just balance like that, man. That's why there's no complaining. Whether you got family in the truth or out of the truth, it's ways that you can apply this wisdom, and not always rebuking them and yelling at them. You follow? They have talents and wisdom that they may have to help you, and you have abundance more that they might not even know you got to help them, right? So as to do your masters, do it unto your parents faithfully, man. Meaning love your parents, man, faithfully. Right? Don't just keep shrugging them off and getting mad at them because they don't understand the truth. Verse 8, "Honor thy father and mother both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them." Right? I'll kind of just explain that, but hey, don't tell your mom, "Yeah, mom, I'm gonna come. Yeah, I'm gonna come eat your spaghetti on Tuesday." And then guess what? Tuesday come around, "Baby, where you at? Baby, where you at?" Yeah, ma, you know, we had to go, whatever, you know. Word and deed. Verse number 9, "For the blessing of the father establisheth the houses of children, but the course of the mother rooteth out foundations. Glory not in dishonor of thy father." Glory not in dishonor of thy father. When your father, some of our men in our nation, we got fathers, they on drugs, they can't get themselves right, they act like they still in high school, they trust on other people to kind of build them up, they can't hold their household up. These things are a disgrace. They're a disgrace. I mean, to keep it a buck, they're a darn disgrace. You follow? If you're 30 plus years old, you're still doing the stuff you did in high school, you still, you know, you're still full of lust and all manner of lewdness, and you got no manner of sense of elderly manhood to you, it's a disgrace. But as a young man, right, I don't glory because maybe my dad can't get down with the truth the way I get down with it. I don't glory because of that, right? What Sirach is teaching is the wisdom that you have, and it's really deep rooted in love, man. It's really deep rooted in love. The wisdom and love that you have, you use that to apply it to strengthen that relationship. Why? Because it says what? It says that a blessing may come upon thee from them, man. Because at the end of the day, they're your parents, man. So this is going to teach how to be cordial with your worldly family, man. Right? I'll give some scenarios. Let's go to verse 9. For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of the children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations. Let's break that down. For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of the children. Meaning what? Depending on your situation, your father, he might have done what he was needed to do. You understand that? To be able to build up his household on a carnal level, physical level, to be able to provide you with an education, to be able to provide you with food, to be able to provide you with knowledge and wisdom, whether it's on the right or left hand side, right? Right? So this is the blessings from your father that they come from. But you come into the truth, oh, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, I hate the white man, XYZ, right? And then you look at them all crazy, man. You understand that? That's not what Sirach is teaching. Sirach is teaching the complete opposite of that. You understand that? So your father might have certain blessings to allow you to build up your household, but you use these things to continue, you understand that, to get better and to, you know, really utilize it and then build your house up, build your household up after him. All right. And then it said your mother, Slaki, it says, but the course of a mother rooteth out foundations, meaning what? But the curse of a mother rooteth out foundations, meaning what? It's either your mother's going to teach you good lessons or your mother's going to teach you evil lessons, man. Especially for Eve, women in the world that's in a household with only their moms, and they got their daughter taking pictures of themselves immodestly, or all matter of how, you know, of lewd act. You understand that? These evil lessons root up the foundation. So your mom and your dad is equally important. Your dad, hey, guess what? He sets the foundation. He makes sure everything is in order. You know what I'm saying? On a general level. And then your mom does the nitpicking, right? Your mom does it. No, don't do this. No, don't do that. No, do it this way. Do it this way. All right? Your mom does these things. Your mom fills out the paperwork here and there, right? Your father makes sure things is supplied. You understand that? That's how it goes, right? And without you're gonna root up, your foundation is gonna be rooted up. That's what this is teaching, right? Verse 10, glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father's dishonor is no glory unto thee. For the glory of man is from the honor of his father, and a mother in dishonor is a reproach unto the children. My son, help thy father in his age. What did the Lord say? My son, help thy father in his age, man. Help your father in his age. Oh, man, let's get that precept. In first, no, not first. Is it First Samuel? This man, King David, is about to die, and he couldn't even feed himself. He had to have other people feed him, right? This is first. No, I don't think it's First Samuel. This is going into something else. Man, Salakia, man, I forgot the precept. Salakia. Hold on, give me a few seconds. Man, this man David, he couldn't even feed himself. He had to have people feed him. Salakia, hold on, give me 2 seconds. Salakia for this. Really forgive me, man. Forgive me. Okay, all right, I'll leave it. All right, Salakia. Man, this man David was, you know, he was an old man when he gave, when he gave up the ghost, get it thrown to Solomon. But, Solomon took care of his father. So it's an account, and I believe it's in 1 Kings chapter 1 or 2. David was an old man. They had to feed him. Salakia for that, right? Let's read on now. This is Sirach chapter 3. And where was that? Verse number 12. My son, help thy father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he liveth. And even if his understanding fail, have patience with him, and despise him not when thou art in thy full strength. Right? So, hey, your father might be a little bit older than you. Just because you can do a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, you're a little bit more physically strong, don't be despising your father, man. Right? Verse 14. For the reliving of thy father shall not be forgotten, and instead of sins it shall be added to build thee up. In the day of thine affliction it shall be remembered, thy sins also shall melt away, as the ice in the fair warm weather. He that forsaketh his father is a blasphemer, and he that angereth his mother is a curse of God. Wow. Let me read it again. He that forsaketh his father is a blasphemer, and he that angereth his mother is cursed from God. My son, go on with thy business in meekness, so shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. Right? So, hey, at the end of the day, stepping out of the context of, parents and children, you follow. Now, you might be in a certain situation where you're up. In the world, we say, hey, man, I'm up right now. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm up, whatever. Right? You want to be as humble as possible. Right? The greatest is the least. Right? Your masters is your servants. That's how it goes. The Lord said in the book of Sirach, and jumping the gun, I'm trying not to grab no precepts in Sirach this whole video, but the point is, if you are the host of a feast, you make yourself just like unto them, right? You be regular, right? Because I'll throw this out there. If you come to Bayat Mathamika, if you come to my house, you understand that I don't care if you're older, younger, whatever you are, right? I serve the place. That's how I do it in my household. If we have a feast, or if I got food prepared at my house and you coming to eat, we chill out, I serve the place, man. I make the place, y'all sit down and we eat. That's just how I do it. You understand that? Or you make yourself a servant to your brother, right? The greatest of you shall be the least. The strong ought to embrace the infirmities of the weak. Let's read on. And that's sound doctrine. Let's read on. Verse number 19. Many are in high place and of renown. Bam. Right? Bam. Many are in high place and renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. Let me get a precept on Psalms. Right? Stop trying to get so damn deep, man. Everything is not deep. Everything is not deep. Stop trying to search out the things that's too high above thee. Here it is. This has happened to me so many times, and it really makes me angry. Here it is. You're asking me, Yahushua was Solomon in the regeneration, or Yahushua was Zerubbabel during this time period because of XYZ, or was Yahushua kind of Moses, even though he was in a different like brother, sister, brother. Tell me how to keep the Passover. Tell me how to keep the Feast of Purim, the Feast of First Fruits. Tell me how to keep the Sabbath-day do's and don'ts. Can you prove it? Tell me that it's okay to do XYZ according to the law. Teach me the law, man. Please, it irks my soul when people do that, man. Stop trying to ask me questions that just aren't profitable, man. Or don't ask questions, or don't try to dive into topics, or all kinds of different topics that aren't profitable, right? Because it's going off. The Lord says, seek not things out that's too high above thee. This is Psalms chapter 119, and verse number 27 or 9? Yeah, I like 27. I think it's another one. Right? Salakia. Psalm chapter 119 and verse 27. Make me to understand the way of thy precepts, so shall I talk of thy wondrous works. Right? Because then those are the things that you search out. Because it's not too hard for thee. It's not too hard to be understood because you've been going based off the precepts. Right? Let's go on, because my phone about to die. Verse number 24. Verse number 22. But what is commanded thee? See that? That's why I went to that. But what is commanded thee, right? Think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. See that? See that? Everything I just said was justified. Verse number 23. It says, be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are shewed unto thee than men understand. Right? So, hey, guess what? I'm not trying to have a conversation about too much stuff that's just not profitable, right? When you're trying to get all deep with certain breakdowns and certain prophecies, stuff that hasn't happened yet, you understand that? You're trying to get too deep with these things. Guess what? Just search out the thing that's commanded to you, man. You follow? Man, don't be curious and unnecessary matters. You understand that? But what? It says, for more things are shewed unto thee than men understand. You already know that we're Israelites, right? And that was something that they hid from us. And you found out through the Spirit of the Most High, right? You already know about the 7 seals. You know, once World War III kicks off, you know there will be a certain time of race wars within America where there's going to be a whole bunch of antagonization on general levels of races, and what's the word? And religion-based theology, you know, fights going on and conspiracies going on. That's the word I was looking for. A whole bunch of conspiracies going on between different racial groups and religious groups. That's what's going to be going on when you get to these seals and all that other stuff, right? Now, you already understand these things, but this is more common to your average man, right? But Jake and the world still watch conspiracy theory videos where brother get on the camera like this and talk like this, man, something's about to go on, man. I don't know. The conspiracy theory videos, right? I used to watch those, man. Right, but the wisdom you have is more than your average man. That's the point, right? So stick with the milk. That's what that's going back to. The milk is the basics, right? It says, verse 24, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. A lot of people, an evil suspicion is overthrowing your judgment. You just being so overly righteous. I think I seen him do this the other day. I think this, right? You just being overly righteous, man. It's an evil suspicion. When you just get so caught up into, oh, I got to watch brothers' moves. I don't know what's going on. You're being overly suspicious, man. You're being overly righteous. Right? Let's read on. It says, a stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein. An obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrows, and the wicked man shall heap sin upon sin. And the punishment of the proud there is no remedy, for the plant of wickedness hath taken root in him. The heart of the prudent will understand a parable, and the attentive ear as is the desire of a wise man. That's going into being consistent, man. An attentive ear is being consistent. Understanding, man, get rid of this pride. Get rid of this pride and these angry spirits. Stick down to the milk, you understand that, these salvitical topics, and really wake up your people. Or stay down to these basic topics and understand how you should be moving in this truth. You follow? Let's read on. It says, water will quench a flaming fire, and alms making up the atonement for sin. So when you give into those that's less than you, right? You might have a little bit of bread, but you're humble enough to get rid of some of this bread that you don't need as much as the next brother do, right? That's why it said that in verse number 19. Let's jump back real quick. It says, many are in a high place and of renown, but so like in not verse 19. Verse number 18, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. Right? So when you got a little bit of riches, man, kick it out to the side of somebody who needs it more than yourself. That's why it says in verse 30, water will quench a flaming fire, and alms maketh an atonement for sins. And he that requireth good returns is mindful of that which may come hereafter. And when he falleth, he shall find a stay, man. All praise to the Most High. You understand that? That's where our brotherhood comes in. That's where a sisterhood comes in. That's where a family and a nation comes in, right? You start off a chapter, and you give the order of your household with reverencing your parents. Be humble. Don't be proud. Understand these simple lessons that increase your love for your family, that increase your love for your nation, man. You understand that? And then end up the chapter with alms. On how much, the more you give to your parents, to your friends, to your sisters, your brothers, or whoever it is, the more the Most High is going to be allowed to be received unto you. You understand that? And with that, come here, inshallah. How about them? Shalom.